Greetings all, we're back at the repair of the beast. A couple of things I've got to show you first. Okay, if you notice, I blocked off an hole in the crankcase so my special tool doesn't fly off and jump in the engine acid. Okay, this right here is your neutral light pin. You've got to make sure that that doesn't fly out, because if you lose it, you got no neutral light. Okay, what's my special tool? Well, it's the venerable 2P, which I'm going to use to lock the gears together in a moment. But point to note, 2Ps come in steel and copper. Best one to use is a copper. Okay, now I'm going to try and set this camera up so you can see what I'm doing, but if I can't, I need two hands. Okay, cheers. Here we go then, first try. Let's get the old ratchet on there. Apparently this gear is a proper thread, so let's see what we got. Oh, that's locked in there. Gee, that's a bit tight. That's super tight. Yay, there she goes. At least I hope it's the right way. Acid. Did she undo? I don't know. There's our little 2P underneath. Yep, she went. Lordy lordy. That was a bit scary, guys, I've got to admit. Because that boy was tight. Okay, let's get her off. Nice big washer behind the nut, if you see. Oh, she's still a bit tight. Oh, thanks to Shane, by the way, for lending me his 1/2 inch 36mm socket. I'm sure I got one buried in my tool somewhere, but the only one I could find was a 3/4 drive, and nothing to drive it, so never mind. There she goes, there she goes. Beautiful. Now these gears are not timed, so there's no time marks or anything on them. And off she comes. Oh, look at that. Look at that, boys and girls. Beautiful. Now, as you can see there's two retaining screws. And there's the beautiful bearing that I'm going to change. And on the other end, once this shaft comes out. So I'm going to go away now and find myself a really good fit for that screw, because I don't know whether I'm going to have to use a impact drive or not. Anyway, let's crack on. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, we're going to undo these screws. Now I've got good quality screwdrivers in my kit, and these ones I really recommend. They're Worth screwdrivers, and like Snap-on, they've got a little spanner fit in, so you can put extra grief onto the screwdriver, which I'm going to do now. There we go, and hopefully out she comes. Beautiful. Get rid of some of this gasket. 29 quid this gasket. And you might say, oh, and That gasket seems alright. Not when you put it together and it leaks, it isn't. So what I've got to do now, and so the last thing I've got to do while I'm waiting for parts, is to clean these gasket faces off. But that comes in a bit. Okay, let's get this other one out. I did crack this one earlier because I didn't want to make an ass of myself on video. There we go. Now, to all intents and purposes, we are now free to tap the shaft out. Again, just a tad scary. I'm just going to put these screws back in so they don't get lost. There's a couple of ways of stripping an engine, especially if you're not that experienced. And one of the best ways is bag and tag, which means you get your food bags and a roll of masking tape, and everything you take off, you put it in the bag and label down to the smallest nut and screw. And that way, you've almost got an idea of how it goes back together. Beautiful. Right, okay, I'm going to leave a cardboard there. I don't like great holes and crankcases. That's just disaster waiting to happen. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, this might get a little jumpy because the camera is, or the phone is resting on the bike. But here we go. That looks like it, boys and girls. Oh, there misses. And out she comes. And so there, boys and girls, it's getting some light, is the shaft. With the bearing on it. Sorry, let's get some thing here. So those are the splines that we're interested in, and they look fine to me. Seams on the sprocket. Oh, look at that. The bearing just falls off the end. Outstanding. Okay, gonna tap the other bearing out now. Let's see what we can do with that. Just for comparison, this is the transfer gear side bearing. Jesus, the tree's throwing fruit at me. Okay, and this is pulley side. Bit of a difference there, I think. So now, clean the casings up, wait for bits. Okay, so that's a pretty successful afternoon, I think, and we've definitely found what the problem is. I've been on to my supplier, Solent Bearings, can't give them more praise, and he's got one on the shelf and can order one in 3 days, or for 3 days, so that ties in nicely with the parts from Holland. So there we are. Slight caveat to that, Kawasaki asking 45 quid, Solent Bearings 18 per bearing, so that's half price. Can't fault the guy. So I'll be up there in the morning, take the bearing with me, make sure we got the right bearings and get the order in. Then we're ready. As soon as it all comes in, we'll do the rebuild. Cheers guys. Shaft put together. So I'm just going to show you how it comes apart. Transfer side nut. As you remember from the last video, very tight. Washer, transfer gear, bearing. And the bearings slide on and off quite easy, they're not an interference fit. Pulley side, nut. locking washer. Yes, I have ordered a new one. Pulley. Then you've got your oil seal over the collar. The collar itself, which goes on one way because it's got a chamfer for the oil seal. And oil seal and bearing. And that is the complete assembly. Cheers guys.